Well, if there's one scent that takes me right back to Saturdays growing up here on the South Shore, it's the sweet aroma of a pot of old-fashioned molasses baked beans simmering in the oven. Today, I'm sharing a true East Coast classic. We're making these the old-fashioned way, the way my mother and my grandmothers made them. We're starting with dried navy beans, some dark molasses, and a little bit of pork to make everything taste just right. This is going to take a little patience and an afternoon of your time, but the end result is going to taste so worth it. So grab a cup of tea and let's get started on cooking up some good old-fashioned maritime comfort food. The first thing you have to do when you're making old-fashioned baked beans is to plan when you're going to make them, because these need to soak overnight. Last night I cleaned up the kitchen from dinner and then I measured out 3 cups of dried beans. That's dried beans sold in a package like this. They're very economical this way. So I measured out 3 cups of dried beans, covered them with cold water in a nice large bowl to give them room to expand. And I set these aside on the counter. They really need a good 8 to 10, even 12 hours to soak overnight. After your beans have soaked overnight, you're going to take a colander, strain these, rinse them, and then you're going to put them in a pot, cover them with fresh cold water. So now bring your pot over to the stove, crank that heat up to high, and bring that to a boil. Don't add any salt or anything. We're going to bring this to a boil, then turn the heat down so it's still boiling, but just a very low boil. Cover it and let these cook for about a half an hour. Once your pot comes to the boil, which should be right about now, it's boiling away, and you want to turn your heat down. So it's still boiling, but not as vigorously. So put your cover back on, but leave it ajar a little bit and let that boil away for a half an hour. Our beans have been boiling on the stove for just about 30 minutes. Let's check on them. Give these a little stir. And at this point, they're not going to be done at all. This was just giving them a little head start before we prepare them for going into the oven. But you can see they've plumped up a little bit in that boiling water. So now we are going to take this pot over to the sink, drain it again, return the beans to this pot, and add the ingredients for our wonderful molasses sauce. So very carefully tip these beans into the colander that you used earlier and just drain off that liquid. Now you can take this same pot and just transfer the beans into the pot. There, now we're going to add the ingredients for our molasses sauce. I have half a cup of dark molasses. I'm just going to pour that right into the beans. And I've oiled my little measuring cup with some oil so the molasses will slip out nice and easy. See? And in addition to the molasses, the other sweetener we're going to use is maple syrup. Now you can use brown sugar, but if you've followed my channel for any length of time, you know that I love my maple syrup. So I'm using a 1/4 cup of dark maple syrup. If you don't have maple syrup or you prefer brown sugar, by all means use the same amount of brown sugar. So a 1/4 cup either way. Just pour that right in. And next we have just a little bit of ketchup. That might seem like an odd ingredient, but the ketchup does add just a little hint of flavor, extra flavor, that really enhances the beans. So you want about a tablespoon. I'm not measuring, I'm just eyeballing it. My mother didn't measure anything when she made her beans. She just threw her beans in, added what she thought was an adequate amount of molasses, brown sugar, and off she went. And they were always perfect. Now we have dry mustard. So you want to add a good heaping 1.5 teaspoons of dry mustard, and I want a little bit of salt. About a teaspoon should do. And one of the things that my mother used to say was that you shouldn't add salt right in the very beginning because it would make your beans tough. But I've since read that that's an old wives' tale and that adding salt in the beginning of your baked beans will not toughen them. So we'll see. She thought it was true, but I'm going to add my salt in now. And you want a generous grinding of pepper, maybe 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon. And I'm going to stir this all together. I'm going to take 1 small onion. It's peeled, but it's not chopped. I'm just going to tuck that right down in the middle of the beans. And I also have 2 slices of bacon. Now, my mom and my grandmothers always used salt pork, and sometimes I use that too, but it's very salty and it's got a lot of additional fat that you probably don't want to be eating too much of in this day and age. However, it does make your baked beans taste divine. If you can get your hands on a little bit of salt pork, you don't need much, just a small piece, go ahead and tuck that in. But I'm just using 2 pieces of bacon, and I'm just laying these right on top. So now you want to take that kettle of boiling water and just gently pour it into your bean mixture. And you just want that water level to be slightly over the top of the beans. You want everything to be nicely covered with hot water. And the reason we boiled the water first is just to give everything a head start. Baking beans is a long process, and so anything you can do to save a little bit of time and get things going in the oven will help. Now you want to cover your beans, put them in your preheated 300-degree oven, and let these bake for about 4 to 6 hours. And every now and then give them a little stir and check on that water level. The worst thing that can happen to beans as they're baking is you let them dry out. And it's funny, if there's rain in the forecast, your beans tend to bake dry. So just keep an eye on them. You can go and do some other things while your beans are baking, but don't let them dry out. So just keep a kettle full of water on top of the stove so that you can top up the beans as necessary. Into the oven we go. I just opened my oven door to check on the beans, and it's a good thing I did. So remember how I told you, don't let these dry out. So the water level has fallen below the level of the beans. So I'm just going to top this up with a splash more water. Just add a little bit more. You just want to keep those beans nicely covered with a good amount of water, because this is only an hour and a half into the cooking process, and they've already absorbed a lot of that water. So keep an eye on them. Okay, so this is about 3.5 to 4 hours in the oven. I sort of lost track while making my bread, but I'm just checking on it for water, checking on the beans for water. And I think I could add a tiny splash more. I'm going to give these another 20 minutes with the cover on, and then we're going to finish baking with the cover off. So I have my kettle of water that I've kept hot here on the stove. I'm just adding just a splash more water back into the oven for 20 to 30 minutes with the cover on. Then we'll take the cover off and finish baking for the last half hour with the cover off, just to make everything beautiful and brown. I wish you could smell my kitchen right now. The aroma coming from the oven with the molasses and beans and bacon, it just smells so wonderful. Our beans have been cooking for close to 5 hours. They're beautiful and tender, and I can't wait to show you what they look like. Lovely. I'm not quite ready to serve these yet, and I'll tell you why, but I do want to taste them. So let's have a little sneaky taste and see what they're like. First, we'll check the texture, make sure they're fully done. So good. This is memories of my mom and my nan and my gram, all wrapped up in one. So good. What a great Saturday night supper. They have the sweetness of the molasses, a little hint of maple, the smokiness of the bacon, and just a tiny little bite from the dried mustard. Perfect baked beans. This is an East Coast tradition, and I know you're going to love it. However, as good as these beans are all on their own, this meal would not be complete without a nice thick slice of Maritime Brown Bread. And that's what I have on the go behind me. I have 2 loaves rising in the warmth of the kitchen while these beans were baking. I'm going to crank up my oven, bake those loaves, and you're going to want to be subscribed to my channel so you can see how I make Maritime Brown Bread next week. So I hope you'll stick around. Thanks so much for hanging out with me on this chilly, drizzly day, and we're going to enjoy our beans. And next week we'll have them with a slice of warm, hearty brown bread with a little bit of butter melted on the top, maybe even a drizzle of molasses. So thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.